Good morning. Today we will start with the heat conduction equation. Heat transfer has direction as well as magnitude. The rate of heat conduction in a specified direction is proportional to temperature gradient, which is the change in temperature per unit length in that direction. Heat conduction in a medium in general is three-dimensional and time dependent. Means temperature is a function of x, y, z and t. And the temperature in a medium varies with position as well as time. Heat conduction in a medium is said to be steady when the temperature does not vary with time, and unsteady or transient when it does vary with time. Heat conduction in a medium is said to be one-dimensional when conduction is significant in one dimension only, that is say x, y or z, and it is two-dimensional if it is a function of x and y or y and z, and three-dimensional if it is a function of x, y and z, all of three. So we start this chapter with a description of steady, unsteady and multi-dimensional heat conduction. Then we derive the differential equation for plane wall, long cylinder and sphere, and generalize the results to three-dimensional cases in rectangular, cylindrical and spherical coordinates. So heat transfer has the direction as well as the magnitude. Although heat transfer and temperature are closely related, they are of different nature. Unlike temperature, heat transfer has direction as well as magnitude, and thus it is a vector quantity. You can see here hot potato is transferring heat from here to the environment. So heat transfer has direction as well as quantity, which is here 80 watt per meter square. For example, saying that the temperature on the inner surface of wall is 80 degree, describe the temperature at the location fully. But saying that the heat flux on that surface is 50 watt per meter square, immediately raise the question in what direction. We can answer this question by saying that the heat conduction is toward the inside or toward the outside. To avoid such questions, we can work with the coordinate system and indicate direction with plus or minus sign. The generally accepted convention is that heat transfer in the positive direction of a coordinate axis is positive, and in the opposite direction it is negative. So this is coordinate system from 0 to x. You can see here heat transfer is in this direction, which is positive, and here heat transfer is the reverse direction opposite to the coordinated system, it is negative. So therefore a positive quantity indicates heat transfer in positive direction and a negative quantity indicates heat transfer in the negative direction. The driving force for any form of heat transfer is temperature difference, and the larger the temperature difference, the larger the rate of heat transfer. Some heat transfer problems in engineering require the determination of temperature distribution, the variation of temperature throughout the medium in order to calculate some quantities of interest such as local heat transfer rate, thermal expansion and thermal stress at some critical location at specified times. The specification of the temperature at a point in a medium first requires the specification of the location of that point. This can be done by choosing a suitable coordinate system such as rectangular, cylindrical or spherical coordinate. So this is your rectangular coordinate, cylindrical coordinate, spherical coordinate. So you have to find the location of a point. It is defined by x, y, z in rectangular coordinate. This point P is defined by r, that is your radius, phi this angle, and then z height in this cylindrical coordinate, and in spherical coordinate it is defined by radius, your theta and phi. You can see phi is angle between x-axis and projection of this direction on the xy plane. Steady versus transient heat transfer. Heat transfer problems are often classified as being steady or transient. The term steady implies no change with time at any point within the medium, while transient implies variation with time. Therefore, the temperature or heat flux remains unchanged with time during steady heat transfer through a medium at any location, although both quantities may vary from one location to another. For example, heat transfer through a wall of a house will be steady when the conditions inside the house and out there remain constant for several hours. Means at 2 p.m. it is 15 and 7, so it is Q1 dot. So if after say 5 p.m. it is 15 and 7, then your Q1 is equal to Q2. So this is case of steady state. The cooling of an apple in a refrigerator, on the other hand, is a transient heat transfer process. Since the temperature at any fixed point within the apple will change with the time during the cooling. Or you can see in the wall, here temperature has changed 15 to 7 at 2 p.m. to 12 to 5 at 5 p.m. So this is a case of transient. So temperature at the inner wall has decreased and the outer wall has also decreased, which leads to a change in the heat transfer, that is Q2 dat, and both are not equal. So this is a case of transient. During transient heat transfer, the temperature normally varies with time as well as position. In a special case of variation with time but not with position, the temperature of the medium changes uniformly with time. Such heat transfer systems are called lumped system. A small metal object such as a thermocouple junction or a thin copper wire, for example, can be analyzed as a lumped system during a heating or cooling process. Multi-dimensional heat transfer. You can see example. Here heat transfer is two-dimensional. In the rectangular bar, it is in X direction and it is in Y direction, while there is no heat transfer in the Z direction. So heat transfer problems are classified as being one-dimensional, two-dimensional, three-dimensional, depending on the relative magnitudes of heat transfer rates in different directions. They are also expressed in the Cartesian polar cylindrical coordinate system. So heat transfer through the window of a house can be taken to be one-dimensional. This can be treated as one-dimensional, while heat transfer through the egg drop into boiling water is nearly one-dimensional because of symmetry. So heat will be transferred to the egg in this case in the radial direction, that is along straight lines passing through the midpoint of the egg. We had also discussed in the previous chapter that heat transfer in a specific direction is proportional to temperature difference across the medium and area normal to that direction. That is by Fourier law of heat conduction. Q conduction is equal to minus Ka dt by dx, where dt by dx is the slope and it is the negative on this temperature and X diagram. The K is thermoconductivity of the material, which is measure of ability of material to conduct heat. We know heat transfer is a vector quantity. Take example of this surface, which is an isotherm, means temperature on this surface is same. The heat flux vector at a point P on this surface must be perpendicular to the surface and it must point in the direction of decreasing temperature. So this vector will point in this direction, Qn, and this vector can be subdivided into I, Qx, J, Qy and K, Qz. You can write in this form. So we know this Qx, Qy, Qz again can be described by Fourier law. So this is the rectangular coordinate system, X, Y and Z. So most of engineering materials are isotropic in nature and thus they have the same properties in all directions. For such materials we do not need to consider about the variation of properties with direction, but in anisotropic material such as fibers or composite material, the properties may change with direction. Heat generation. A medium through which heat is conducted may involve conservation of electrical, nuclear or chemical energy into heat, means the medium can be heat generated source. In heat conduction analysis, such conversion processes are characterized by heat generation. For example, the temperature of a resistance wire rises rapidly when the electrical current passes through it, as a result of electrical energy being converted to heat at the rate of I square R. So this heat generation in the case of electronic component is the concern, because we have to remove this heat generated from these sources, otherwise they will melt down. A large amount of heat is generated in fuel elements of nuclear reactors as a result of nuclear fission that serves as heat source for nuclear power plants. The natural disintegration of radioactive elements in nuclear waste or other radioactive material also results in generation of heat throughout the body. The heat generated in sun as a result of fusion of hydrogen into helium makes the sun a large nuclear reactor that supplies heat to earth. Heat generation is a volumetric phenomena, that is, it occurs throughout the body of medium. Therefore, the rate of heat generation in a medium is usually specified per unit volume and is denoted by G dot, whose unit is watt per meter cube. The rate of heat generation within a medium may vary with time as well as position. When the variation of heat generation with position is known, the total rate of heat generation in a medium of volume V can be determined from G dot is equal to integral of volume G dot dV. In a special case of uniform heat generation, as in case of electrical resistance heating throughout the homogeneous material, the radiation this reduces to G dot is equal to G dot dV, where G dot is the constant rate of heat generation per unit volume.